Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suhail and I make book videos here on YouTube. If you guys are into reading, if you guys are into reading vlogs, book recommendations, book hauls, BTS reactions, because I am ARMY, so I do react to BTS on this channel as well. Make sure you check out the rest of my videos and subscribe if you haven't already. Today we're going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag, and the original creator will be right here. I have never done this, obviously, because this is like my first year doing booktube, but I have watched mid-year book freakout tags every single year. Like, as a watcher of booktube, I love them. I feel like I get so much about a person's like book taste, or like new book ideas, or like book recommendations to read. I thoroughly enjoy these videos, so I cannot believe that I'm making my own. I am very excited. So yeah, I also have 16 questions, so I don't know if I'm gonna go too in depth about the books. I'm just gonna mention them. I also wasn't able to choose one answer for certain questions. I have more than one because I cannot make up my mind like that. Life is too short, okay, for me to just choose one. So let's get right into it. All right, so the best book you have read so far in 2023, and for this one I had to divide it because I couldn't choose. For thrillers, I have The Kind Worth Killing. This was my favorite thriller this year so far. Keep in mind, I'm filming this in August, so I do have another option that I read after, like, July. So this is my favorite thriller of the first half of 2023. My favorite thriller this year so far is The Housemaid, obviously. I love both of these. I feel like they're very different. This one is more like about murders and getting away with it, and like whether or not they're gonna get caught, and you know, seeing people like not expecting to get murdered and stuff like that. So I really love this one. It was a very different book. I feel like I have never read a book like this one. It was very sexist. I'm just gonna say that the author is Peter Swanson. I don't know, but I feel like I also read the second book in the series and it was okay. Not as good as this one, but it was still good, and it was just as sexist. So yeah, if you guys don't like sexist like writing, then I mean, it wasn't that sexist, but like it did have a few things that you were like, what? You know what I mean? Like, what was that? But whatever, I was able to look past it, and looking past that is a really good story. So I love that one. And then this one, The Housemaid, obviously I talked about it in my June wrap-up, so I will link that up in the cards. And yeah, I was obsessed. My favorite fantasy is Fourth Wing, which I also went into detail about my opinion in that July wrap-up. I mean, June-July wrap-up, so I will again link that in the card so you guys can check it out. My favorite romance so far is Archer's Voice. I have read plenty of romance this year, but I feel like this one hit like hard. Like, I actually felt the love between them, and like, even though I read a lot of good romances this year, I feel like none of them felt as real, or like as in love, like passionate in love, and as meant to be. As I feel like Bree and Archer are it. They're like the modern Romeo and Juliet. I love them so much. Not Romeo and Juliet because it's not like the same plot, but you know, like how people use Romeo and Juliet as like the most romantic couple of all times, which I disagree, highly disagree. But this one is definitely like the new one. Like, this is like, they're meant to be, and it was beautiful. I loved it so much. I cried. I also have a whole vlog about it. Like, I didn't vlog myself, but I did give my opinion about it, so I will link that up in the cards as well. Number 2 is best sequel you've read so far in 2023, and even though I read the first one and the second one this year, this is the best sequel that I have read this year. I love this book so much. Well, the whole series, but this book specifically, like, the first one was good, but the first one was like, you know how like in Akatar, like the first one is good, but like, you know, Tamlin is there and he's annoying, and it's like, okay, I just need to get through it so that I can, you know, read the second one, which is the best one. That's how this one is. I feel like it is good. It was still like, I think like 4 stars, but it wasn't like 5 stars like this one. You know what I mean? So yeah, this one was amazing. I love it so much, and they just revealed the new cover. I'm gonna insert it because it's beautiful, and I feel like I need to shout it out in every single one of my videos where I mention this, because I'm excited about it, and I also love the cover. All right, new release you haven't read yet but you want to, and for that I have the second book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This one is like a Kindle Unlimited, and I haven't read the first one, which is kind of weird to say that I'm looking forward to the second one. But I feel like the second one is so hyped, and so like everyone is just so obsessed with it, that I kind of want to read the first one so I can get to the second one. You know, that's kind of like where I'm at when it comes to like this series. I did want to read this book before the second one came out and everybody started raving about it. I had already like put it in my TBR, and it was definitely like top 5 of Kindle Unlimited TBR. So I have always wanted to read it, and yeah, I am looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna vlog that one because whenever I move, I'm not gonna have any of my books, so I do have to read most of them like either through the library on Kindle or Kindle Unlimited. So I'm gonna take advantage of the fact that I'm gonna only read on Kindle and kind of like do a dedicated video to that whole series, and yeah, vlog myself reading it because I feel like it's gonna be one of my favorites, and I want to have that, you know, in video. So yeah, most anticipated releases for the second half of 2023. For this one, obviously Iron Flame. I don't even have to get into it. If you know, you know, okay? If you know, you know. I already like pre-ordered it, and I don't even have an address where I can like ship it to because I'm going to be moving to Europe in the fall. So before it comes out, I'm already going to be in Germany, and I already put it like so that my sister-in-law can get it in her house, and then she can like send it to me, because I refuse to not get the one with the sprayed edges. Like, I'm still on the hunt to get the first one with sprayed edges, and I haven't seen it anywhere, and I don't think I'm going to find it anywhere. So we will see, but this one I have to get it with sprayed edges. So I already pre-ordered it. I am ready. I cannot wait. Now for romance, the King of Pride, King of Wrath series is coming out with the third one, which is like the King of Greed. And I love both of them. I love King of Wrath and I love King of Pride. I kind of like King of Pride better because it was kind of like a shy main character. So yeah, I am looking forward to that third book in that series. I am so excited. I cannot wait. Literally cannot wait. Right, the next one is Biggest Disappointment, and for this one I have 2. I have Stolen Air. I got into why I did not like this book in one of my wrap-ups, so I will link that up in the card so you guys can see it. But yeah, I basically did not love this book. I was expecting more of like Folk of Air vibes, and it was clearly not. So if you guys have not read it yet, go into it not expecting it to be Folk of Air, because it's not. So yeah, I feel like that's where it went wrong for me, where like I went with a different expectation and then I ended up like not liking it. I also did not like Jude. I feel like I still see him as a child, so there's that. Another one that I did not like was The Final Offer. I also went into detail multiple times about why I don't like this book, so I will just link it up in the cards as well where I talk about it, because I definitely did not like this book and I was so looking forward to it. Alright, the next one is Biggest Surprise, and for that one I have Ariadne. I was not expecting like for me to like this book as much because I am not into Greek mythology. I did not even like Song of Achilles. Did not love that. I don't know, I just did not like it. This one on the other hand, I loved it. It was so feminist and just like beautiful, and oh, I loved it. If you like a feminist book, a book about sister relationships and how the patriarchy basically affects us all, not just women, then I highly recommend this book. I loved it so much. I feel like I cannot rave about it enough. I don't know what to say because I want to mention everything about the book because I like every single thing about the book. You know what I mean? I cannot pinpoint what was my favorite part of the book. I loved everything that it made me feel. I loved the whole experience with it. I feel like I wish I could go back in time and kind of like experience reading this book again. And I might do like a reread. I mean, I'm obviously going to do a reread at least once in my life, but I don't know when I'm gonna do that. So yeah, highly recommend this book. I loved it. All right, the next one is favorite author, and for this one I have Ana Huang. Abby Jimenez is my favorite romance author, but Abby Jimenez is more like for regular romance, but like for spicy romance, Ana Huang is where it's at. I'm sorry, but like every single one of her books is just so freaking good. I'm obsessed. I cannot. Also for fantasy, Tahiri Mafi. I know she has like the Shatter Me series, but like comment down below if you have read the Shatter Me series, because I think it's like a very long series and I don't know if I want to read like that long of a series. And like I don't know, I feel like I hear that it's like YA, so if like nothing really happens, then I don't know if I'm gonna be into it. But like just let me know if you guys know my reading taste and you guys have read that series. Let me know down below if you guys think I should read it. But I love her. She's one of my favorite fantasy authors. Like every time she releases something, I am definitely gonna read it. Newest fictional crush. Okay, for these I have 3 because I cannot choose. Okay, I'm sorry. We have Satan, of course, from Fourth Wing. We have Cyrus from These Infinite Threads, of course. and Kyung from King of Pride. So all 3 books I have mentioned already, and obviously you should have seen this coming. All 3 of them are amazing. I love Kai in King of Pride a lot because he was like very shy. He's like one of those people who's like grumpy with everyone except for you. I mean with you. And like, I don't know, I just feel like he was so like mysterious, and like the fact that he was like willing to do everything like with her. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm a sucker for like shy men. So next, new favorite character, Violet. I mean, do I even have to say why? Do I have to? I love how like the author basically was able to put into a story her own like chronic illness, and I love how like she basically like emphasized on the fact that like everyone sees her as weak, at least like in this world that she lives in. She's like seen as weak because of her disability, but like if you think about it in real life, even though not everyone says it, I feel like most people see people with disabilities as like weak and like not capable of like doing normal things. And I love how like in this book she made it very clear that that is not true, and like that having a disability makes you unique and special. And like, not that it's obviously, I don't want to like romanticize having a disability, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you're a regular human with regular like goals, and like you have the right to desire to live a normal life, as normal as possible, regardless of whether you have a disability or not. Like I love that so much about this book. And yeah, I love Violet for that. She's a baddie, and I love a baddie as a main character, especially like a fantasy main character. Yes, please. Book that made you cry. For this one, I'm just gonna say Archer's Voice. I already mentioned that. It made me cry. I love it so much. A lot of books make me cry, but like this one, I was sobbing because I thought something happened that didn't happen. So next is a book that made you happy, and for this one, it's a very random one, but like The True Love Experiment by Christina Lauren. I feel like I have mentioned this before, but like if you follow me from like any of my BTS reaction videos, you know my obsession and like my love towards BTS, and like the fact that they're in the military has all of us armies like in our feelings, and we cry about everything. So like obviously seeing them in this book, even though they weren't mentioned like, oh, this is BTS, if you know, you know what I mean. And like the author has made it very clear that it is based on BTS. So like the fact that I was able to read about BTS and like people that share like what I share with other armies, like, but in a book, it was just like the most amazing experience. I loved everything about it. I cannot rave about it enough. If you like reading romance and you like BTS, you have to read The True Love Experiment. You just have to, okay? You have to. And if you like The Bachelor, even better. Like, you're gonna be obsessed with this book. Okay, next, favorite book to movie adaptation so far this year. Did anybody else say anything else? I have not seen other people's like mid-year book freak out, but like I'm sure most people wrote this one, right, for this answer, because I feel like we were all kind of like excited about it, and we were all like losing our shit about it. So I even made a blog. If you guys have not seen it, I will link it up in the cards. I reread it because I have already read it when it came out, and then I did the reread. And then I also reacted to the first 3 episodes on that video. So if you guys have not seen that vlog, check it out, because have you seen my username? Favorite review you've written this year? And honestly, you guys, I don't write reviews. I don't like writing reviews. I feel like I'm of the opinion that everybody has different taste, and like just because I don't like a book doesn't mean that someone's not gonna like it. So I never write reviews because of that. But I do, like, whenever I do updates on, like, when I get on Goodreads, I do update as I'm reading a book. Sometimes, like, I will, if I'm really into the book, I'll be like writing like my opinions and my thoughts and everything on Goodreads. But like a whole review, I don't do that. So yeah, none, I guess. All right, most beautiful books you bought this year. And for this one, I have Chain of Thorns. This is not the original cover. I always say this every time I mention it because it's not the first time I've talked about this, but this is the original cover, and obviously I love the inside of the dust jacket cover best. So that's why I display this one. This is one of my favorite covers of all time. I love everything about it. I love like the city in the back. I love James. I love the demons. I love the darkness, like the mysterious, like creepy vibes of the cover. It's just amazing, beautiful. I have a whole book about my favorite covers of all time, so we'll link that up in the cards as well. And in that same video, I mentioned How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories. This one is my favorite book, like, so far, as in like physically, I feel like everything about it is amazing. It looks very like witchy, very like forest vibes. I just love everything about this book. I love the end papers. I love the drawings inside. I feel like they capture the story really, really well, exactly how I imagined it. It's just amazing, beautiful, a masterpiece, a work of art. It's just the best one. It's the best book I have ever seen in my life. What books do you really need to read by the end of this year? I have 5. Actually, I have more than 5, but like 5 if you generalize like series as one. I have Twisted Lies. This one is like the one that I'm missing from that whole series to finish. I don't know if she's gonna come out with the 5th one, but this one is like the 4th one. I have already read the first 3. I love them. I need to buy them, but I don't want to buy them new. I want to buy them like secondhand, so I'm waiting to find them. And then I also have the Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I do want to read this. I think I'm going to read it in October, maybe September. All of my furniture is going to get picked up at the end of this month, so I'm not going to have my books in September or October. So I might read them through the library, you know, even though I don't have them physically with me. But yeah, I think I'm going to get to this either September or October. I cannot believe that I'm not going to be able to read them, like the physical copy. Whatever, it's okay. I'll be okay. Then I have Under the Whispering Door. I was gonna read all of his books at the beginning of the year, just like I did with, what's the name of the guy that Frederick Backman. I was also gonna read all of his books at the beginning of the year. I never got to it. I don't know why. I lost like interest. I still want to read them, but they're not like at the top of my TBR like they used to be. This one, on the other hand, it is at the top of my TBR, and I do kind of want to read it before I leave, like before they pick up my furniture, like my moving stuff. So yeah, I will probably read it in August. If I don't read it in August, then I don't know, but I want to read it like at the end of, like before the end of the year. So Under the Whispering Door, I do have 7 Days in June. I wanted to read this in June for obvious reasons, but clearly it didn't happen. So I am still, you know, trying to read this. It is at the top of my TBR, and yeah, hopefully I can get to it soon. I have only read good things about it. So, and then last but not least, obviously, the new cover just got revealed for this one as well. I will insert it so you guys can see it. But this one, as you guys can see, I have also tried to read it multiple times. I do want to do a reading vlog about it though. So I am going to read this. Hopefully, I have the audiobook and I think I have the ebook through the library, if I'm not mistaken. I am recording my audio with my phone, so I cannot check that right now, but I do think I have the ebook through the library, and I do have the audiobook in my Audible app because I remember buying it once. So I don't have to have the physical copy with me to read it. I can just read it while I'm moving and not having any of my stuff. But yeah, I cannot wait to read the series. I feel like I am gonna love it. I do hear that it's high fantasy, which is why I think I have not read it yet, because I feel so intimidated by that. We'll see, but I do want to read this year. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna manifest it. I am gonna read this before the end of the year. I have to. All right, and then I have my Kindle Unlimited TBR. I have the Crowns of Nyaxia series, which is, you know, the one that I just mentioned. I cannot wait to read that either. I feel like I will be reading that in the next 1 or 2 months, so stay tuned for that. I also have The Housemaid, which I had already read. I made this list way before I read it, so I do want to say that I want to read the second book in that series, which is also on Kindle Unlimited, so cannot wait to see what that's about. I do want to read Mile High. A lot of people rave about this romance, so we will see. I have no idea what it's about, but I do have it at the top of my TBR. I want to read The House Witch. I want to read Ninth House just because the other one just came out. It is Dark Academia, so obviously I want to read about it. I feel like I wanted to hit the Dark Academia spot with Babel and it didn't, so I am still like, you know, in the need of Dark Academia. I feel like Fourth Wing did kind of like hit the spot a little bit when it comes to like, you know, it being in the school and all that. So yeah, anyways, I do want to read the second one, so Ninth House has to be read first, of course. And I didn't know it was on Kindle Unlimited, but now that I know, obviously I am definitely going to put it at the top of my TBR. And then last but not least, I have Daughter of No Worlds. I don't know what that is about, but I do know that when I made this list, I didn't know what it was about and I was interested. So those are like my top like TBR of Kindle Unlimited. If you guys want, you guys can answer these questions in the comment section down below. I would love to read your answers, or if you guys make videos here on YouTube, link down your video so that I can check it out. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next one.